Hello and welcome back to my channel. It's so nice to see everyone back. I'm going to do a little quick bit on personal finance. This is something that I feel very passionate for, and I also feel like given all my experience in accounting and generally just good financial advice to my friends, I do feel like I could impart some great wisdom to you. Bit of context, I am based in Australia, so some of my advice is links or references to Australia, but that being said, all of it is available globally and can be easily understood. I would highly recommend, if you are someone who is starting on your journey of preserving some wealth for the future and saving, reading The Barefoot Investor. I will link the bio of that book below. The Barefoot Investor is an Australian book, however, it's available globally, and everyone has already benefited a lot from that book. The book has multiple different chapters, and each chapter sets out an action plan where you won't go to the next chapter until you've finished and implemented that chapter's recommendation. I won't go into too much detail, but I guess the quickest part, which I found extremely helpful, is the bucketing of your income. So if I was to earn $1,000 in a month, I would bucket my income to have automatic direct debits into different accounts. So $100, so 10% of my wage, $100 of 1,000 would go into my holiday budget. 10% or $100 would then go into my spending, which would be your frivolous spending in and out for that month. So that would include any kind of extra shoe purchases, or maybe like a headband, or it could be a dinner out with the girls. And then you'd have 20% into your hardcore savings. That would be $200 a month if you're earning $1,000 a month. And then the remainder of that money, which would be $600 for the month, would be spent on your everyday costs. So that would be fuel for the car, that would be groceries, that would be rent or repayments to your mortgage if you have one, that would be obviously like registration if that happens. I'd highly recommend, if you are someone with a few direct debits, trying to get them out monthly. It just helps with cost management. You don't then get surprised with $1,000 registration fee at the end of the month, especially if it was due in January and you've just spent all your money in Christmas and you have less money. So I'd highly recommend breaking down that into monthly installments. So that's probably my biggest tip from that book. And also they recommend having a different debit card for, say, your everyday spending and your frivolous spending. The 10%, which has $100, and then your $600, which is every day. And the reason for that is, say if I go out and I buy myself a coffee, I count that as frivolous spending, so I tap that card. Once at the end of the month I have entered my credit card details, maybe for a concert ticket, I have no money. There's no transferring between accounts or anything. That was my budget for the month. It automatically did it when it hit my bank account. And that's what I recommend, because no one likes to sit down each month or each week and have to nut out, oh, their bank statements, I paid this for this and that, and oh, now I've worked out where I'm at. It's easy. It's all in each bank account, and you know at any one time, based on your salary, because it's the same amount each month coming in, presumably you're getting paid the same amount or roughly the same amount each month, and therefore you can easily budget. I'd say what I've really seen across different people is those that can easily live within their means, or don't have skewed perceptions of what their means mean, aka they're not thinking, well, I do have extra money this month to spend on shoes, and they're not saving anything or hardly saving anything, and they're realistic with their goals. They do really well in life, and they can retire comfortably. They won't be stressed out not having to borrow for family or make sacrifices as much. And you might think it's not cool to save, or it's a bit boring, but the thing is, no one likes a cheap friend, and those people who can't save and look after themselves always end up looking cheap, because they can't afford at the end of the month doing this or that. They're always like, no, I don't want to do that, or I don't want to do this. It's just, they're making like poor choices in life, and that really does affect in the end your lifestyle, your friendships, like who you can, I guess, socialize with, unless you're doing all free stuff. It does, you know, make an impact on what you can actually attend. And when you're younger and you might be living at home, or you might have a good job and you're spending all the money, you might not feel it, but it's like later in life when you start thinking about saving up for a house or anything like that. And yes, it is hard, there's no doubt about it, but not thinking, oh, I just can't, is not the right attitude. Because if you don't try and save now for anything,